Hello, welcome back to the spirit of watercolor. And yes, it's summertime, and I've got some great things for us in store for us in the next weeks ahead. But I want to keep us inspired, so I'm going to put in another artist quote for inspiration to keep you going and keep myself going as well. Actually, there's two here, and I may mention them both because they're kind of related. And one is by Waldo Emerson. He was a poet, writer. I'm sure you've heard many of his profound sayings. And the first one is very simple and short, and it's probably him speaking from his experience. And he said, every artist was just an amateur, which I love because, we all have to start at the beginning and learn and be like an amateur, not professional. And maybe we never have the goal to be a professional, but that doesn't mean, but you can still be too much of a perfectionist. And I have done that, and I go into phases of that, I'll be honest, and then I get over it again. And these inspirations help me, and I hope they do you as well. And then there's another quote here, okay? And it's by, let's see, J.M.W. Turner, the famous watercolor painter. Went way back in the 1800s, beautiful landscapes and scenes of, just dramatic, and he's well known. So look him up if you haven't seen his work. Very influential to my work as well. Inspiring, very inspiring. And one of the early watercolor painters, okay? Now, this saying I really like. And by the way, I'm not sure if he did just watercolor. I'm going to look that up and I'll put it in the notes, because I'm not sure if he did just that or if he did oils. I think he did as well. He says, it's when we are no longer fearful that we create. And again, I know I mentioned that in a quote prior to this, that fear can really, fear that you might not succeed or it won't come out. I mean, I go through that sometimes when I'm trying to do a video, because you're taping this for people to see it, and then that thing goes on off in your head that, oh, what if I overdo it, and or what if something goes wrong, or I splattered, or something when I didn't plan on it. I mean, sometimes we plan to splatter, right? So we have to think about these things. These two quotes to me are very related, because they're about, things that hold us back, things that are the doubtful thoughts that keep us from creating. So I hope that these quotes will encourage you. I like to toss one in every now and then just for encouragement, and so that you and I will continue to keep painting and keep enjoying the creative process. Colors, shapes, beauty, and our connection with the outer world. So this is, our interpretation of how we experience the world, what we see, what we feel, putting it into our artwork. And there's this joining, and to me it's a very spiritual experience, the joining of these things together, where you interpret, your life experiences, put them down for others to experience from the way you see it. And I think, we all have something to share with each other. And a couple of my paintings are going to my sister-in-law, and she's putting one up in her mother's new home. And, it makes me feel joy that other people enjoy, the way I've seen and created things. And I think you will too. If you paint them and make a little card and give it to somebody, or you paint a painting and frame it and somebody wants it, whether you give it as a gift or they want it and you give it as a gift, or they buy it, put them in a gallery someday maybe. But we don't have to do that. I've done that. It's not what I'm always doing. So I hope you'll continue with me. Let's go to the table. My new ideas this week are to do a diptych, which is taking two paintings that they can stand alone, but they're related enough that you could put them together. And they're two separate pieces, okay? And they're both framed, and they're framed the same way, and they're very similar, but they're different, okay? I think you'll enjoy this. I've done these before. I've done this more than once, so a couple times before. So join me for that. I'm really excited about that. And the other thing I want to do is I'm going to take a box. I'm going to put that watercolor ground all over it. It's just a white coating of acrylic type material. And then it's ready to paint. Now we're going to paint it, and then I've got to order this spray fixative that you put on it that I found on Amazon. I think they have it, or at the art stores, and I need to get that. And then you spray coat it outside, and then it's good to go. You've made a beautiful decorated box. It could be a lovely gift as well. So those are two things coming. Please join me. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for some wonderful, fun, creative experiences together. Thanks for joining me. For the Spirit